What's up, guys? I wanted to make a video concerning one-dimensional people. Now, I first heard that term, one-dimensional people, years ago when I used to go to this class by this great teacher named Dr. Clifford Black. And I forgot the exact context I forgot the exact details about exactly what what he was lecturing on that night during the class, but he was basically talking about how I'm assuming I think he was talking about like the lack of education. How like a lot of children read below their grade level. You got especially in the inner city in the black community, you have children in high school. They still read on the elementary school level. You know, and how like a lot of things are not taught in school that should be taught, like finance, learning how to invest and things of that nature. And he expounded on other things as well, but at the end of it he was saying like this is the reason why you have one dimensional people in society walking around. And he said that, I mean, that was just like years ago. And when he said that, it still stuck to me to this very day. And and it's kind of like like back in high school or I went to college. You take different classes in order to graduate. You know, you'll take not math and science, English, and also you will take PE, physical education. You would take music, take a music class or art class or whatever, or home ec or wood shop. And I took a lot of those classes back in middle school because I remember back in middle school in the 90s. I took a home ec class, I took a wood shop class. I was in the school band. I played tennis sax. You know, You know what I'm saying? So, back in elementary school, I used to sing in a choir and things like, stuff like that. And I took PE. And, in order, like I said, in order to graduate, you got to get all these credits, take all these diverse classes, to, in order to graduate. It wasn't like, I just take math. I don't deal with English. I take English. I don't deal with PE. It was nothing like that. You know, and you'll take all the classes in order to be like a well-rounded, educated person. Even when I went to college, I took math class. I took an astronomy class. I took English. You know, I took lab. Classes like that. You know, I took African American literature class. I remember that too when I went to college. And stuff like that. It makes you a well-rounded person. But the problem is you have people for some odd reason you have people walking around these days. They're so. I remember Bobby Hemmett summarized it very well. He said we live in a compulsive society where people just go from one extreme to the other. You got people who are very spiritual. They just deal with spirituality and that's it. You got people who are vegan or whatever. They deal with health and diet. That's all they deal with. You got people who are gold diggers, bougie, materialistic. All thing they want to do is party all the time, look good on Instagram, look good on Facebook. So they try to be with the popular crowd. They're all about the clothes and the cars, but they have no substance underneath that. You know, and then you have this subset of nerdy, meek, humble people. Saying even though on surface they appear okay, but they have a moral superiority over people. They think they have a moral superiority, because they're not into the stuff that the cool kids are into. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that, and they associate. If you work out, if you look good, if you got good hygiene, if you're a go getter, if you got a lot of energy, you know what I'm saying? They frown upon that as, oh, you're part of the world, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And that's another extreme that's not really talked about a lot, which I experienced, you know, and we got all these people, and I'm just like, you people gotta learn to be well rounded. I'm not saying that you should be perfect. No human being is perfect. Perfection is impossible. You can never achieve perfection, but you should strive to be better. Strive to be the best person you can be. You know what I'm saying? And like for me, I can like one a week I can go to the gun range, or whatever. Then the next week I'll go to a science lecture. You know, one day I'll listen to hip hop. The next day I'll listen to like 90s grunge music. Then the next day I'll listen to jazz. You know what I'm saying? Or I might like go see a Marvel comic movie, see the Avengers or something, or see a Spider-Man movie. Then the next day, I might decide to pop in an old black and white movie from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I'm just reason why, because I just enjoy what life has to offer, even when it comes down to knowledge. You know, so I'm not a scholar or anything like that, but I read books on history, I read books on spirituality, I read books on politics, I read biographies. You know what I'm saying? I read book about war strategy. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, or I might read like a comic book, whatever. So, what I'm saying? In reason, it's all about like enjoying take advantage of what's out there. Just in life, there's a lot of things that are out there that you can like enrich yourself with. You know what I'm saying? But for some odd reason, you got people, they just deal with one thing, one spectrum, for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of improvement I got to do. Some things I got to work on. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like, just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, if you want to be a better person, if you want like better results in life, you know, you just got to be a little bit more versatile. You know, go to the gym, um, do something in the community, join the bowling league, play golf, um, learn to, go learn to play pool or something. What I'm saying, join a fraternity, do something. What I'm saying, don't just be a plain person. That's pretty much where I'm getting at. What I'm saying, don't be a plain person, especially when it comes down to like dating and relationships. The best people are not the nice people. The best people are not they're not the plain simple people. The best people are people who have depth. 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 Those are the people you should be looking for. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge them by how nice they are. Even though it sounds contradictory, you know what I'm saying? Don't judge them about how responsible they are. Even though that's a contradictory. I'm not saying don't get a responsible person, but it's kind of like this. You can be a responsible person, pay your bills on time, go to work every day, work a 9 to 5. What I'm saying, drive the speed limit, got excellent credit, all this kind of stuff, but still be boring as a motherfucker. You can be a person who you can be a law-abiding citizen. You know what I'm saying? But he can still like be a blob. You know, he still, you know what I'm saying, be a person who doesn't take care of their health, a person who's never read a book, a person who's not cultured. You know what I'm saying? You can be the most responsible person in the world, but if you just like plain simple cardboard, like a cardboard cutout, cookie cutter cutout, you know what I'm saying? You don't really stand out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people that in this day and age, and I say this over and over and over again. This is the 21st century, right? We live in an age of information. We got the internet, Google. I mean, the world is at our fingertips. You know, information is at the speed of light. Whatever you want to find out, you can find out. Whatever problem you have, you can find it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So there's no excuse why in this day and time to be a plain simple person, one dimensional, plain flat simple person. I don't care how nice you are. I don't care, you know what I'm saying? I don't care how law abiding citizen you are. But if you're just like a plain person in this day and age, there's really no excuse. You gotta have, and I will say this, you gotta have something. Don't just stay in the plastic world. When I say plastic world, don't just be a person who just follows the trends. You know, a person who's stuck in the plastic world is like an NPC. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who your favorite artist? Beyonce. What's your favorite show? Game of Thrones. It's kind of like it's like they just automatic. It's like whatever's popular, whatever's the right thing to say, they just regurgitate it. You know what I'm saying? What's your favorite show? American Idol. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like they just stuck in that commercialized world. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by the plastic world. But I always say that have a hobby or interest that's outside of commercialism. You know what I'm saying? At least one thing. You know, it could be like, hey, you know, I like doing art projects. I like doing pottery. You know, I like going working in the garden and planting flowers, or I take martial arts class. I take a yoga class. Do something that's uniquely you. You know what I'm saying? It could be something that's corny as, you know, I like playing the flute or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Have something about you, a hobby that you like that's outside of mainstream commercialism. At least one thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it will ground you and make you a better whole person. You know, you'd be surprised. You got people walking around. They have no interest, no hobbies, nothing like that. They just stuck in the. I mean, their life is like one big commercial. You know, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but it's always good to have like one hobby. Even if it's not a hobby, maybe you like a certain kind of music. Maybe you like polka music. You like folk music or something. Have something about you that's outside of the plastic world. At least one thing, because that way it helps ground you. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a soul. It makes you have something that's uniquely you, that's outside of what's cool and what's hip. You know. But I just want to make a video on this topic. You know, I just want to get it out of my chest. But if you have more input, you know what I'm saying, want to add to the conversation, comment below. Like the video, email me. You know what I'm saying? If you have any suggestions, comment below. And that's all I got to say for this video. And until the next time, I talk to you guys very, very soon. All right. Peace.